And we are live, Veronica Jeans.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we are so excited today, right? Because of
We are.
Copy.ai. This is an ongoing project of mine, is to use AI in all my things that I'm doing, content, Amazon, and even my book, and obviously my blogs, but my book as well. So, but yes, we've got Andrew here today, who is from Copy.ai. He is the most amazing guy. I've known him for quite a while, right, Andrew? Quite a while. So Andrew did my branding for me, and I'm still using the same branding. Believe me, I get so bored with branding. I change every year. I have not changed anything that you've made for me. And so yeah, that was exciting. And so you had Design Hacker, and now you are helping Copy.ai with the affiliate partner program, which is really exciting because AI is just so newish, right? Newish. So Tim
Very new.
is Tim is my producer,
Over here.
and he's
Hello.
he's amazing. He's amazing. Keeps me in line because this
Somebody
Monday
has
thing
to.
is like,
I mean,
oh
there's
my
my
God.
hubby Roy, but
Yes, I know, right? He's been told to stay outside. I gave him 2 pieces of toast with Marmite and a cup of tea. Stay outside. No photobombing the videos. So, okay, cool. So, Andrew, tell us quickly about whatever. This is just fun. Yeah, whatever.
Well, I guess I'll tell you my, the last, we're almost to the end of the year. It was earlier this year. I was building my own marketing agency. So you mentioned I do visual branding.
Yes.
I've built software tools in the past.
Yes.
And my background has really been in design and web design, helping businesses get online, look professional, and then market their business to attract customers. And that sounds really easy and simple, but man, it's been my entire professional career trying to make this easier for people, not only making it easier for myself to do that for clients, but also to teach others how to do it themselves, because not everyone has a huge budget to go spend on all this stuff.
Yes.
So, and especially nowadays where everyone's looking at new ways to create income streams, they're seeing teenage kids making millions of dollars online. So they're like, hey, I have a lot of expertise and life experience. So why don't I try my hand?
Why don't I do this? Yeah, exactly.
Actually provide some value out there and not just dance around on videos to make money, but actually share knowledge, experiences, and create really a lot of value for people from their own unique life experience. So that's kind of my passion, is helping people get online and start to build an audience, and ideally create cash flow that gives them more freedom to do more of what they love and not get bogged down by all the nuances of visual branding, content creation, copywriting, sales page creation. Like, it just becomes, you either have to become like a complete expert at everything, or you have to have a huge budget to hire someone. So that's where like my Design Hacker business started, was to try to solve that, make it easier, simplify this whole process. And I just love to hack away at things and find shortcuts. So that was earlier this year. I was helping clients with their marketing, and this explosion of artificial intelligence copywriting tools came out because of a huge breakthrough in 2020 from a company called OpenAI. And I've got a couple of slides. You want me to pull them up real quick? It might be kind of fun to show you some visuals.
Brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, because we need to know how it all started. Nobody really understands the back end of AI, and where it all started. I mean, I find it fascinating. So put him up.
Put it up. All right, let me get it up here. Let's see this. You should be able to see that now.
Here we go. And we should thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Renee, for being here. We appreciate you, and everyone who's tuning in live or on the replay. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, this is fun. So I decided to create a quick slideshow. So what we're talking about is Copy.ai, which is one of these new software platforms that makes it easier to write copy using artificial intelligence. But what it's actually built on is it's a software tool that's built on this underlying platform called OpenAI. And you're going to want to learn about this because OpenAI is changing the game, and it's a big deal. It's basically like what Google and Facebook and Amazon are doing, right? Where they're building these crazy artificial intelligence behind the scenes to help them make billions of dollars.
Right.
Well, OpenAI is doing the same thing, but they're making it accessible to all of us. So they're actually making it a business model to develop that same kind of artificial intelligence, but then open it up to the public to access that, to use it for our own business or whatever, like a lot of creative applications as well. But we're going to focus on just the business applications today. And this all started really in 2015 with some of these Silicon Valley billionaires. They put in $1 billion to start this OpenAI research center. And then in 2019, Microsoft came in and threw in another $1 billion. And their goal was to pursue the holy grail. Yeah, the holy grail of artificial intelligence. And they're moving pretty quick. So for up until that time, even in like 2019, the stuff they were building, there's a lot of different things that they're building. But one of the first things they decided to focus on was...
Sorry.
Oops, you there? We good?
Yes, we're good. Sorry.
Keep going.
You're yelling, sorry. I'm like, okay. So they decided to focus on written language because that was one of the easier things to figure out and find patterns and start to get the computers to like start to communicate in written language that in a way that sounds very human and in some ways can write better than we can understand. But it was pretty rough at the beginning. Like you try to get the computer to write stuff for you. And even up until 2019, it wasn't very good. Like 1 in 100 things that it wrote was kind of something that was useful that you could actually use, you know, for your own marketing or whatever. So it wasn't very commercially viable, meaning we wouldn't pay for that because it was more of a waste of time for us than anything. But a lot of things changed in 2020.
Everything changed in 2020. E-commerce went nuts, baby. Nuts.
I mean, I see it as like I've been kind of a futurist myself and being an entrepreneur in the tech space. So a lot of things that happened in 2020, this like more digital living,
yes,
it really accelerated things by 10 years, I think.
Yes,
we were going to get there inevitably, but
yes. Yeah,
with the change in the world, I mean, everything we've been through, it's radically changed.
We won't talk about that. That's like old hat.
But on another kind of like just coincidentally, this new version of this AI, it's called GPT-3. It was called GPT-2 in 2019, but the new version, GPT-3, came out in 2020, and it was 100 times more powerful.
Wow.
So they call this the tipping point for artificial intelligence because this new version that came out started to sound a lot more accurate and a lot more like you hired a professional copywriter to write your stuff for you. And basically you just tell it a little bit about your business, click a button, and boom, it's writing amazing marketing copy for you.
Yes.
So basically,
I've seen the changes from the beginning of the year to now on AI. The Copy AI is unbelievable. I mean, it's just changed completely.
Yeah, and it's getting better every day. So now there's these layers on top of it. So that's the underlying layer. Basically, what they did is they took 10% of the internet, all that written content. You think about how much content we've written, not just social media, but blogs, news articles. Basically, every book has been digitized and put online somewhere. Yes. So anything that's publicly available, they can run it through this computer, and it studies that. So it's learning the patterns.
Yes.
And these billion-dollar supercomputers can now really start to communicate in a human way.
Yes. Yes.
And so they've opened it up now to where I think of it kind of like the iPhone. When the iPhone came out, it wasn't that, it was cool. It was like a phone with a touch screen. There were a few apps on there that did like calculations and whatever. But the real power of the iPhone was the App Store, where developers could come in and build on top of it to let you use this amazing tool in completely new ways, right? That's where you have social networks built on it, Snapchat filters, it just makes the experience way better. Yes. So that's what Copy AI is. It's the layer on top of that interacts with this supercomputer billion-dollar platform. And now that layer on top, they're taking that raw data and they're helping us. So Copy AI, their goal is to help us write words to help us sell our products and services. So
It is
they are
amazing.
crafting it, and
Yes.
they're really refining it so that it's easier for you, and they're creating an interface that's fast and easy to use. So you don't have to know everything about what's going on behind the scenes.
No.
You just go in and tell it really quickly about your business, and it will help you sell it, not just like describe it better or say it differently, but it will also help you identify pain points, the fears and doubts that your customers might have. It'll start to articulate this stuff, and then it'll help you explain the benefits of it better. And not just products and services that already exist, but you could tell it anything, even make up a product, and it will help you sell it. Right? That's the creativity.
Okay. So the best thing on Copy.ai for me is shower talk.
Oh, the shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts. I thought, what is shower thoughts? I've never had shower thoughts, right? I shower and I get out, right? So, because I have to pump water into the boat, and there's limited water in that tank. But too much information. But the shower thoughts were absolutely brilliant. I mean, that is just such a fun thing to actually test out.
Do you want to try right now? I'm just curious what you how you use it.
Oh, so
let me pull it up.
I mean, I've used it several different ways, right? Several different ways. So I've got about 5 projects going right now. So obviously I'm in e-commerce. So, I've got clients. So I've had 2 clients that I collected information. One was skincare, which is extremely difficult, right? And to try and sound a little bit different to everybody else. And then I have African statues that I created some information for, and they are difficult because they don't have competition. So, sometimes you get this information, you go, I know where that website is because there's only 4 websites. So, but it came up with some brilliant stuff. And then obviously, Tim and I had a talk on Monday. We were talking about the Facebook crash and markets and not having your eggs in one basket. I created a blog in about, or the descriptions and a little bit more for the blog in about 15 minutes. Literally popped it in and popped it out. And then obviously I'm using it for my book as well, because it comes up with some brilliant ideas. I mean, blogs is like books, no? So yes, the blog idea.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of thing where you just type in, you give it basic information. Like, I mean, we didn't tell it anything here, so it's not going to help very much. But the more descriptive you can be, so it'll give you ideas on what you could write about. So becoming an e-commerce store owner, here's what you need to know. A blog that talks about the realities of so just like we gave it very vague information, but if you did it like starting your own e-commerce store with skincare products for middle-aged woman, like it's going to be way more laser focused on the kind of things you can talk about, right?
Yes. So I got literally, so I mean, it gives you, what I love about it gives you like 3 examples, and if you don't like those, then you do, Gabe, yes. So if you don't like those examples, you can get some more examples. And then what I've done is I actually grabbed the examples and I put them into there. And then I collated all the information, and we went through it sort of literally sentence by sentence to see, okay, which ones can we use and which ones, so and Gabe, if you have a Shopify store, not to have too much information above the fold, right? So 1 or 2 sentences is what you need to have. Something that is quick and easy, that somebody that comes in knows exactly why they have to buy that product because there's a benefit. And then anything else, that all this other blah, blah, blah stuff is under the fold. And so, for instance, your specifications and features. So, yeah, I mean, this is how fast it is. It is just absolutely brilliant. And so I've also used it for, in this one particular, no, actually both Shopify stores, is to create the benefits for the bullet points in Amazon.
Okay, so you could use something like the copywriting. I mean, this is just like making stuff up, right? So I'm just kind of showing you the speed of all these original, not just writing things out, but coming up with ideas for you. It has tools to help you with your, like, start up a new project, all the way from like brainstorming who your audience is, your mission statement, your motto, your value. It'll even help you with like naming your business and then describing it, creating ad copy, creating blog articles, social media content. The sales copy is really good that you mentioned here for coming up with like benefits, features, pain points that you solved. So I like to look at even a couple of my favorite ones are feature, advantage, benefit. And again, so what you're seeing here, this is the interface. Copy.ai has built this whole interface and they've created all these tools. These tools, like the pain, agitate solution, they've trained the AI to understand what this is. So when you type in something generic, it has taken all this other data of similar inputs like this, where you've described, like, I help people learn how to ride a bicycle. And then it understands what pain, agitate solutions would come out of that. So in this case, becoming an e-commerce store owner, the pain takes a lot of work. You have to build all your products, create attractive images. It understands all the pain points.
Yes.
And then the agitation, you also have to deal with taxation, logistics, shipping, right? So it's expanding. And then the solution, it's now, I show you how I did it, my own story. So that's one example.
You got it. I mean, it gives you idea. So the whole thing is what I explain to my little wee customers clients is that it's not going to give you, boom, here it is, just copy and paste, baby. You have to curate it and then take bits and pieces out of it that actually suits how you want to sign. But here's the thing is I'm a terrible content writer. If you come to me and say, hey, here's my store, help me. I don't know about content. You got to give me the content. But this way, it makes it so much easier just to generate the content. Everybody thinks I'm now fabulous, right? Because I come up with this awesome stuff, right? I really come up. And so for the
you are fabulous.
I know that. But with the African store, it came up with Moyo in Africa is heart, and it said, like, Moyo is the heart of your whatever, but it just made it so much more close to people that, man, this is so good, right? And we've actually had sales because of that. I'm sure that's because we had sales. But I'll tell you exactly here was it. The heart of Africa can be found in our stone sculptures. And then, right? Isn't that beautiful?
So it helps you. And what did you tell it to have it generate that? You just kind of gave it a description of your product?
Yes, I have no idea. And then the other part was, so my basic was, it's handmade, handcrafted stone sculptures by Shona artists, right? And then the other one was, it came up with, when you buy a Moyo piece, you are not just buying a stone, but you own a piece of history, a piece of modern contemporary art with an African flair. I mean, I would have in a million years not come up with that. In a million years, right? But I just took little bits and pieces of what it came up with, and it was just beautiful. So I hate to change it again, but I have to add some more stuff to it.
That's the power. Like you said, there's so many use cases, from helping you describe what you do, explain it in a more compelling way, because especially if it's something you're really passionate about, or
yes,
like a lot of people I work with, like they've been in their industry for years and they've like said it the same way all the time, but then they run their own description. Like, so they just describe what they do into this box, or describe what their product is in your own words. And in a few seconds, it's bouncing all these different ideas back at you, different angles, different ways of saying it. Yes. And even if you find something that works, like you have your own description that's working decently well, you could run it through that change tone. Is that the one you were using?
Yes. You know what? This one I did such a while ago. I can't remember, but yes. So what I do is I put the description, just the title, short title, not very fancy. And what I've noticed is, don't put too much information in, just a little bit. So don't put 600 characters in, because then it just it doesn't really think for itself. But if you just put enough in that it says, hey, and it comes up with its own things. You see here the treadmill,
like this is a good one.
Yeah.
So taking something like a basic idea, then it helps you just kind of like describe it in a better way, just in a few seconds. I mean, a couple clicks.
Yes. So we did this with, I showed this to a writer, to an author, and she was just blown away because we put my stuff in for my planner, and we were going through everything, and I literally, every single thing that I had, I changed just a little bit and just added more stuff and then changed it again and worked on it again, just to yeah. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
It's just cool that it knows about everything. So, and a lot of times it'll know more about your business than you do.
Yes.
And these examples are fun. You're similar to me, where I've worked with so many clients in different industries.
Yes.
And I'm just like, when I first found this tool, I was like, I wonder if this actually makes sense. So I had a client who does like financial planning, like retirement planning, stuff that I don't know much about. And there's a ton of jargon in what she was saying.
Yes.
So I went to her social media page and grabbed the like 2 or 3 sentence description of how she described her business.
Yes.
And reading it, I had no idea what it was. Like I didn't know what her business was. So I ran it through this and just did the product description tool. Yes. And it was able to say it, in a few seconds, a bunch of different ways of describing it, but it was explaining more vividly what her business does, that in a way that I was just blown away with. Like it sounded amazing to me, but then I ran it by her. I gave her like a copy, just kind of like this. Like I made like, a bunch of these things over here, I copied and pasted, and I sent it to her. I said, hey, does any of this make sense? Is this like sounding correct? And she was just like, whoa, this is amazing.
Yes.
So if you do this stuff for your clients, like that's a no-brainer, and everyone's got to get this tool because it'll help you just make them look better without having to know everything about their business. Yes. You'll definitely want to get it proofread by them. And that's the important thing that you mentioned earlier, is it's not going to be 100% perfect. And especially certain types of products, it'll start coming up with descriptions of like how big it is, or like it's going to give you inaccurate information most of the time.
Yes.
It's not going to be factually correct, but just think of it as like placeholders. So you're like, oh, well, let me put in the measurements here, because that sounds like the AI thinks that would be a compelling way to present this information.
Yes. I noticed in the beginning when I was playing around, as I said, as I've been using it, I can see the intelligence actually growing, because it's coming up with better explanations and descriptions for me. And also, I mean, this Facebook thing that I did last week, it just blew me away. I had like at least 1,000 words, because Tim, I sent the information to Tim, he puts it up, and then I have to give him a description. I think, quickly, And it never happens this quickly. So now what I do is I just send him the overlay, whatever I do with him, the thumbnail, and then he says, hey, description. I literally create the description in minutes in AI. It is awesome. And what I was going to say with the products, and also skincare, again, is such a difficult product, such a difficult subject, because everybody uses the same freaking jargon. They just all use the same old hacks and the same old boring stuff, right? So I found that this is just that little bit of extra thing. So one of the things I came up with was and so it actually created I think I did this in I did this in maybe one of the headers. It could be one of the headers. Just a one-liner where I just said it's a unique multitasking, anti-aging, skin perfecting primer. Boom, baby. It was like every single keyword I could hit, and it made sense in that one sentence, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just grabbed this from a product on Amazon. Like, this is the kind of like, rapid wrinkle repair, retinol regenerating okay, well, let's see if it can like help us. I mean, maybe that's needed for keywords or whatever. Like maybe there's a certain way of saying it, but it can take that gibberish and start to help you. Maybe on social media, you want to say it in a little bit more elegant way. Yes. Look at this, get glowing anti-aging complexion with our 2-step system. I mean, it took all that jargon.
Yes, I know.
Add fiber glowing skin to your daily routine.
This is what and obviously it has some weird little .coms in there that it makes up every now and then.
It makes it up, placeholders.
Because I actually did check these. I checked them out and they go nowhere.
It's ideas, because you could, a lot of the times
Yes.
it'll make up names for your product. If you don't give it a name, it starts to
Yes.
like just, but again, it creates these placeholders, but it's pretty fun what it comes up with. Like it's
Yes.
showing you what, again, it understands what's working out there.
Yes.
So it's giving you placeholders. You're like, oh, I'll put my link there, or maybe I should create a link like that. You know, maybe I don't have a place to send them.
Yes. Or look at here, and it says visit the website and get a free travel size.
Yes.
So already there, it gives you a CTA that you need on your page, right? Oh, this is a good idea. I wonder how I can make a free travel size thing. You know, start stuffing little bottles.
Yes, and you could even, if you want, there are like, let's look at this is really, if you're like really stumped with just creative ideas to market in general, it also has these, I think it's under startup tools. Maybe not there. It's going to be brainstorming. I think that might be it. So this is where like name generator, you could even look at like growth ideas. So you could pop in a quick description of your product. And now we're running it through the growth ideas tool. And this is, again, where it's just super creative. It understands marketing, it understands different. So it's just going to give you ideas. The video better be good.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay, so a gate in the way that incentivizes people to refer others. So this is like a referral sharing thing. Network marketing.
Ancient times. Hey, we're not that bloody old.
Offers a thank you for taking another action.
Exactly, right? Sign up an email list, reading your content.
Make some content like videos or an ebook. So some things are going to be pretty obvious, but again, it might just give you that little boost. I don't really use this tool that much because I usually know what I should be doing, but it's just fun to see that like it can take any business idea or product and start to help you bounce ideas around really fast.
Yes.
You can even take a startup idea. Maybe it'll help you come up with a new business model. Again, this is all original stuff. It's making it up on the fly. You type in anything in here and it's going to do its best to give you relevant ideas. It's really magical. So make a spray.
Gabe, here's an idea for you. Business ideas for Gabe to sell.
Oh, yes. Well, Kenny D said maybe he could sell unicorns. I suggested he could sell hot dogs.
Yes.
Gabe suggested maybe a Tim Sohn bobblehead doll.
Well, anything goes, right? You know. So I have a story. This was a few years ago, and somebody got a round rock, right, about this size, and they put it into a leather satchel, and they made it so you could hang it around your neck if you wanted to. They sold 1 million of these for Christmas. 1 million.
Wow.
And there's nothing on the rock, right? I was just blown away. I just couldn't believe it. It's just, and they sold it through one of the top brand stores. They're normally in malls. I have no idea. I can't remember what the name is. I never remember brand name stores, but I don't go shopping. Neiman Marcus, you see? Boom. And it was selling at Neiman Marcus for, guess what? $99. A rock. So
a rock. I have a bunch of rocks outside.
I know, right?
Maybe I could sell them.
I know, but so here you can come up with anything and sell it, hot dogs, bobbleheads.
Interesting. Look how it's like.
It's
just helping you sell. Yes. The other one is like the explain like I'm 5. This is pretty fun because if you're in a really complex business where it's hard to like get your point across or people don't seem to understand, like I could take this, again, all this jargon that I don't really understand what any of this is, and we could try running it through this explain like I'm 5, and we could see the really basic.
Yes.
Let's see. That's about as plain English as it gets.
That's for sure.
Cream makes your face look younger. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
By making people use our cream. It's going to be very blunt, but it's doing a good job of like simplifying it.
We're trying to get rid of wrinkles and crow's feet.
Yes, because somebody will actually look for crow's feet. How do I get rid of crow's feet? Not that I would ask that, but so people have different ways of searching for stuff that you have to have in your descriptions or on your sales page. So tell them about your Andrew, about creating your sales page, because we have a lot of experts here, I think, in the chat. So just on yours, I mean, it's not about, I mean, everything we're selling nowadays is a product, right? Whether I'm selling my services or my books or whatever, it's a product, right? So you were creating a sales page, and I still haven't watched the video yet.
Yeah, I mean, which one in particular?
When you remember? Said you just had that little bit of copy at the top, and that's how you created your full sales page.
Yeah, I could show you. So this was actually with Mari Smith. We were helping her. I helped her create her sales page for a program she was going to sell.
Wow.
And she actually wrote it all out, and then I did the design. But I was curious. I'll pull this up so you can see what I did. I was curious to see, based on what she wrote, if I could have the AI write something similar without really knowing much about her. So what I did is, this was the doc. Like, I basically just took out everything that I wrote in Copy.ai and put it here, and it was kind of fun. I mean, I don't think I've posted that video yet, but I do have this recorded. Basically, all I wrote was the title of the product was Facebook Organic Marketing Class, how to increase your reach, results, and revenue on Facebook without spending money on ads. So that's all I gave the AI. And the first thing I did was I ran it through the product description. So I took those two things, ran it through, and it helped me like come up with all of this copy. So it's kind of similar to what she wrote. Now, I didn't help her write her stuff, but I was like, if I had to start from scratch and I just asked my client, or if I sat down myself to write out a sales page, you would start with something like this, the name of the product and like a one sentence describing what you're going to help them with. And then so I ran it through the product description tool. It just took that input, expanded it out. And this is where the process I go through is a brain dump. Like I'll go through and get a bunch of ideas like this. So description ideas. All right, so this is copy I could use in a bunch of different places. Then I went and ran it through the change tone to see if, you know, maybe the best output here, if there are other ways of saying that same thing, maybe in a more persuasive way or a more creative, like witty way. So it just kind of helps you say it in different ways. So I just ran a bunch of ideas through that and pulled out the ones I liked.
Press release, that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, the press release is really good because it studies press releases. So it's going to give you outputs similar to the more popular press release, you know, templates and layouts. And this is a little bit more eye-catching. So I like these for social media in general. Like this is a great way to promote anything. You could just say an upcoming event, you know, live training on this topic, and you could run it through the press release tool, and it'll help you say it in a way that really captures people's attention. So I'm just showing you kind of like, I mean, it just in a few minutes, like this was in like 20 minutes, I did all of this. The pain agitate solution. This was interesting too, because a lot of what Mari had on her sales page was these like, you know, addressing the pain points. So on a sales page, you really want to dig into the pain, the challenges, the frustration. So like you've heard about all the money making opportunities on Facebook, but you're not getting the results that you were promised. Connecting with the people you care about should be simple, and Facebook is supposed to be the platform made for that, right? Well, learn. I mean, this is just right there. Those 3 in a row, like really gets you hooked in.
Yes.
And then I kind of like dug. So I started pulling out the gold. What I'm running through, and again, all I wrote in it, you want to know the input was up here at the top. All I gave it was that. I think what I ended up doing was initially did that, and then when I had a better description, I gave the AI.
Yes, that's what I did. Yes.
Yeah, so I had the AI basically give me a better description of what I was trying to sell, and then use that as my input. Exactly. And then once it knows a little bit more about what, so the more, yes, it does help to start with very little input if you want it to be more creative. But if you have a very clear product or thing that you're trying to sell and you want the AI to understand, you can give it more in-depth insights. So when I drop that stuff in, now it's helping me pull out all these different pain agitate solution points. And in that, like just the results it was pumping out, you know, I was pulling out stuff like, oh, this is like, it gave me like, you were wasting too much time and money on Facebook and it's not working. So I'm like, well, this would be a great thing to put in a bullet point of like, this is for you if, right?
Yes.
This is exactly what the AI wrote, and I'm just pulling out the golden nuggets that I think could use on a sales page. Maybe like questions that we could ask them, like, are you losing money on Facebook? Do you want to be able to double or triple your reach, results in revenue with Facebook? Would you like to learn the exact formula? Like, it wrote all this. So this is the process that I went through, like, and then more on the benefit side, it helps you with like sell. So this is her course. It's helping us sell the course, the features, right? What it is, but then the advantages, it's everything that she's learned or everything that you need to know into an easy to apply 7-day course. I don't think it was a 7-day course. It was like an 8-week program. So you'd have to go and change that. But
yeah.
So that's kind of, that's what I did to help, or to just kind of kick out around ideas of what you could do if you needed to write a whole sales letter or a long form email or sales page. Just these couple tools will help you get pretty much all the copy you need.
Yeah, and it's a painful process. I mean, I've written so many sales pages for myself. It's like, oh my God, I've got to do another one. And this makes it so much easier. So somebody asked, what's the pricing for Copy.ai? So Andrew, because I asked him for my peeps to give them a really good price. So if you sign up, is it 29 something?
Yeah, the normal price is $49 a month for unlimited copy.
Yes.
So that's insane on its own. We do have a promotion right now. So I'm working with our, affiliate partners. So we're teaming up with Veronica, and so Veronica has a link that right now, if you sign up, if you get the free trial, it's going to give you a chance to get 40% off, which comes down to about $29 a month for the entire first year. So that deal will last for your first 12 months.
Okay, I thought it was for lifetime. Hello.
No, just the first year. As of right now, that's the best I could get from the team, because this actually costs them money.
I know, right?
We're trying to get the word out. What it actually does is every time you click create copy, Copy.ai has to pay to generate all these results. So they're sending that into OpenAI, and it's bringing back all this written copy, but it's actually not free. So you do have to pay a little bit, but they are. Here's the deal, and the reason they're only capping it at the first year. This product is getting way, way better. So they're gonna.
Yeah, it's going to get more expensive. I mean, if you sign up for the other guys, then their full program is 99 something, which is a hell of a lot more than 49 something. So already there you're saving. And so with this deal today, I'm really starting to sound like, what's that on the TV, the CBS
infomercials.
Channel? If you really sign up today.
The Home Shopping Network,
Home Shopping Network, yes. But anyway, so I mean, I have, all my clients are using this because I do not create copy for people. And so and I've created all my copy now for my books. And obviously, you know what? I know I have to write blogs. It's like what I teach, you write a blog a week, which is really painful, or every 2 weeks. But this way, you can actually write a blog a week, because that's going to help you so much on SEO and getting noticed by Google. And even if I don't care what you're selling, if you're selling on e-commerce, if you're selling your services, you have to update and refresh your site all the time. Otherwise, you're just a brochure. You are going to be ignored by everybody, and nobody's going to know you're around, but especially Google. But if you keep refreshing your website all the time, it is going to pay off. I actually did this by accident with one of my clients, because I was uploading and downloading and changing, and for 6 months, backwards and forwards. And we actually ended up on page 1, number 1 position, in the dust fume mist, industrial industry. I mean, they are heavy hitters in that market, and we ended up on number 1. We did lose it because they said they'll do it themselves, which is not going to happen. But so that's what you have to do, is you have to have a tool that actually can get you there, because we only have so many hours in a day. I can't keep up with my blogging. It is what it is, right?
It's a lot of work. Yeah, it's actually even if you want to get more on YouTube or social media in general, like I think a blog is a good place to start because you're going to take like a concept that's you can really flesh out all the ideas and get that long form content, but then you can pull out bits of that and use it for social media posts or turn it into a YouTube video. But what's the hard part is writing all that content and having original stuff. So what we always want to do is go and like copy and paste from somewhere else, or
I know, right? Yes.
Or you hire someone who doesn't really know much about your industry or your product. So like that's now you become like more of an editor because there's so much you have to improve from what they wrote. What you want to check out, I recommend you guys sign up, get that deal. I mean, around $29 a month is insane for what you get out of this, and it's unlimited. So you can just cram it out if you have to. Just write 2 years worth of content in the next 30 days and pay $29 for it. I mean, if you really want to.
Exactly. You can always stop. There's no skin off anybody's noses, but really, really this helps. So you've got lots of cool videos, right?
Yeah, these are really cool. So the one of the founders, Chris Liu, they just did this huge update. So this whole new interface here is really slick, and this editor on the side. And they just raised $11 million in funding. So they're hiring a bunch of programmers and a team to add on a bunch of stuff. And really, we're just scratching the surface. Like this is very early in the game. So this current version is super amazing on its own. And there's going to be a lot more features added in very soon. But these new videos here show you in like less than 20 minutes, he's writing entire blog articles from scratch. And you can watch him do it. So these are really great YouTube videos to check out. Get signed up, go through the same process and just see how it works for yourself. And if you don't need long form stuff, that's definitely more work. I just find even for like quick little blurbs, I just try to define or explain what I do, especially for e-commerce, all those descriptions and bullet points you need to write. Those are quick wins.
So every time Tim nags me for some descriptions, I try either we do something that I've already got a blog on, or I like to have a blog ready. So if we do a live, I download it, put it on my website. So it's new content all the time from my website. But creating the copy from here makes it so much less of a pain. Really painful to actually get to that, whatever you need to get out and sound interesting, right? Sound interesting. So I'm also one of my clients, in fact, that we just launched, they've got copy blogs. I'm going to run them all through Copy.ai so we can have some fresh content and just updating the old blogs, right? So we're not going to lose history with Google, but it's just going to update the blogs to sound more interesting, be more, have keywords. And so also in Copy.ai, you can create the keyword generator, right? And the hashtags. You didn't show them the hashtags. That was awesome.
Oh, you like that one? Yeah, let's see.
That's what
hashtag.
Kelly went nuts Tara went nuts when she heard this. She went, "Oh my God, it creates hashtags for you."
I'll just run this whole thing. I don't know. I think you'd want to write very little, but let's just see. We gave it all that. I think there it goes. It was getting confused.
Yes.
But that's pretty sweet, right? I mean,
yes.
That's awesome.
Think about it, right?
So you could write really anything. You could say like, let's take that. Let's just do like skincare, anti-aging, wrinkles or something. You don't need to be very specific. It's going to get pretty creative.
Yeah,
look at that beauty blogger, beauty, skincare, anti-aging, skincare products, skin routine.
It's just freaking awesome.
The depth, like you start to, the more you play with it, the more you realize like the depth of how much it understands and like how smart and creative it is.
Yes, I agree. It's changed my life, that's for sure.
That's. I mean, I didn't think we'd be this far in AI at this point.
No, I mean, this has literally been, 6 months, not even 6 months, right?
Yeah, they came out. It's been a year now since they first came out.
Yes.
But I mean, yeah, it's all pretty new.
I started on the other program about beginning of the year, maybe February, March. And I was like, it was a bit painful but now it is amazing. It has grown a lot.
A love letter.
Love letter.
Let's see. What do you want to do? This is for Veronica Jeans. The occasion. Thanks for having me on your live stream. I don't know what it's going to do here, but we could do maybe I don't know if love letter is the appropriate one for this, but let's see.
I had a blast. Sorry,
Let's
I couldn't
see.
stay longer. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, my feelings for you
There we
haven't
go.
changed. Yes.
I don't know. It's definitely confused about our relationship.
I know. Don't show this to my hubby Roy, right? But this is cool, right? This is very
Well, you know,
cool.
he could snag some of this. He could swipe it.
I know, right?
What might be more appropriate there is I could do
The review.
a thank you note. Here we go. Let's try that. Might be a little bit more professional under emails.
Ah,
So this could be useful. I haven't even tried this one. Thank you note. So
look at
see,
that,
it didn't
right?
really know what we talked about. It's trying to make something up. So if you could, if I was more specific, it would be able to dig in a little bit
Yeah,
more.
the system works. Yeah.
I mean, it's
Such a
just being
good- look
super
at
generic.
that. Look at that. To see me with such a cool person. I mean, that's so much. It's been fun getting to know you.
Let's see.
That's
It was
awesome.
fun about AI copywriting for your e-commerce followers or something like that.
Yes.
You know, now it understands more. Let's see.
Stream from passive writing. Yeah, I really enjoy talking about it. It's cool to see what makes something click on the internet. Yes.
Yeah, pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
boom.
I've never thanked anybody. I just tell them to go bugger off and go and do your thing.
Yeah, so like
I do
now-
appreciate everybody.
I need to send you a well, in the email it could just be a Facebook message because that's where
I
we
know,
mostly talk.
right? I know.
So maybe I'll
But
go
it's
snag one of
It's
these.
such a nice touch, right? It's such a nice touch, which we don't actually think about. We teach, but we don't do it.
I mean, it's just it just gives you so many ideas. Wow, look at this. So I know that we're looking. This is a great follow up. Here's a link to a new. So this is helping you like a
Oh,
better follow up instead of
wow.
just thank you. Now it's
Here's a link to my blog.
look at that. That's really
Wow.
That is so cool. Thanks for sharing your expertise.
good. What's another fun one? There's so many. This is where I hope your audience, like everyone watching this, like go try it out and just
Yes.
experiment. I sat down when I first tried it, and you can get a free trial, but you will
Yes.
want to upgrade pretty quick. So the discount, you'll want to get the free trial, and then within a few days, you'll want to lock in that discount before it expires. So there is an expiration on that 40% off. So
Yeah,
try it for a
yes.
couple days. I sat down at a coffee shop with a friend, and we started making stuff up and just trying things. We wrote like a cover letter for like we made up a business called like launching monkeys into space or something, and the insane stuff it was writing for the cover letters going into like aerodynamics and like my experience with this and that. Like it was selling the crap out of anything. That's the fun part because you actually learn how to sell stuff better. You learn how to communicate better, and it gives you so many ideas of like how you could say the same thing in so many
Yes.
different ways or from different
Yes.
angles.
Yes, exactly. So when I was doing the planner stuff, I mean there are planners and then they're planners and then they're planners, and everybody has the same whatever they have in their bullet points. And this, I really pulled out some cool stuff where actually, and as you said, you're putting some new content and then you put in another new content, and it just created all those bullet points for me, which was brilliant.
Yeah. Any other tools you want to play around with or anything you want to
Clubhouse,
discuss?
bio. I need to do that as well. I haven't done that one yet.
Well, let me go to your site and then let's see if you could just pop in, tell us about yourself. Where is it? Let me.
I'm definitely going to try this out.
Yes, I know, right? I'm yeah. I use it. As I said, I use it all the time. every single day I'm using it now.
Is that how you come up with my Facebook messages? You put them in there first?
No, don't think about that. But I mean, anything else? I've been really working because I've had a couple of stuff going up on Amazon. So I have to create bullet points for each product, a little bit different, so it's not all the same, right? And so
so what's fun is the formatting. It comes up with all these emojis and stuff.
oh look, it does emojis.
Oh,
so like it'll figure out like what emojis would be relevant. That's a very Clubhouse thing, I guess.
Yes, very
it's
much
coming up
so.
with like a call to action.
That is brilliant. I need to do this. I've been taking photo shots on my phone and screenshots, and then trying to type whatever everybody else has to try and come up with something. This is much easier. Not that I've ignored Clubhouse for the last 6 months.
Yeah, I've never really gotten into it, but
no.
Either way, I think so. Again, this is the current stage that we're at. They're adding tools like this all the time. Like anything that you can think of, they're throwing it in here, and eventually there's going to be way more stuff in really the future. As I was saying, like a year from now,
yeah,
it's not just going to be words. It's actually going to start helping you create visuals. So
that's
not
what
only
I'm waiting for.
Yeah,
the images.
It's going to create art, original art for you. The AI can make images. This is like, and then down the road, it's going to be video. It's going to be all kinds of audio. Yes. It's already making music from scratch. Like you just tell, like, make a country song about Shopify, and it'll like not just write the words and the lyrics, but it'll make music. You could have a jazz song or a hip hop like rap about shop. I mean, this is where it's going. So that's why, these deals and this pricing, like I recommend getting locked in now. Start to learn this stuff, because as we mentioned earlier, this is the tipping point, and we're really just getting started with this technology. It's just mind blowing. They just actually raised a bunch more money. Their first round of funding, they had people like one of the founders of Teachable. They got team members from Shopify, Stripe, just venture capital. And now this latest round, they had a whole bunch more investors, another $11 million dumped into Copy.ai. So not only do you have this $1 billion platform, but you have millions of dollars and some of the best entrepreneurial brains behind the scenes at Copy.ai to specifically help us write better marketing copy to grow our business.
And so here's the thing is, as well as if that's changing, then the platforms that we are on are going to start changing as well. And the way to Hubby Roy is outside telling me am I finished yet? Yes, 2 minutes. So because he's not allowed to come inside. So so the platforms are going to change as well and so we have to be upfront of what's happening, and so we can be one step ahead of everybody else. That's how I see it.
Yeah, you have an advantage right now. And this is, there's a lot of fears around like, well, what's going to happen when these robots are just writing an infinite amount of content every hour? That's like, it's going to get to a point where the robots are writing more copy in an hour than we've ever had in human history. So what matters at that point is your brand. And that's where we're already overwhelmed by information. So that's going to just become more and more of a problem. Like there's going to be just information everywhere. So we as people, like we're going to rely more and more on trusted people that we look up to, we follow, that give us guidance, that do the filtering out for us, and that create content that simplifies things for us. So that's where each of us, if you want to sell products, services, courses, whatever you want to sell, the best thing you can do right now is use this AI to help you build your brand.
Yes.
So now you can show up on video more. You have things to say, or you can create more blog articles or grow your social media following, but have them follow you and your trusted content. So you still want to be the filter here. You don't want to just put out garbage. Like you want to have edited content that is sharing and amplifying your message and helping solve problems for your audience.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is just the beginning for all of us. This is absolutely wonderful. Thanks for popping in. And I wasn't going to have this whole selling thing, but it's such an amazing product. I'm always talking about it because it is helping me so much for my daily life with what I'm doing. Anyway, thanks for popping in. I'm happy. You will have to come back again because everybody in the workshop's going, hey, I thought you're going to be talking to Andrew. He's going to show us stuff. So I said, yes.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you had me back on. Anytime you want to chat, this is fun. And in the future, we could do some more specific use cases, but ultimately, like, it's so much fun. If you're like me, Veronica, like you saw the potential here, you saw the technology, you dove in, and you just have to start using it. Don't be afraid. No one's really an expert right now. This is changing very quickly. So have fun with it. Have a positive like spirit and attitude to play. Like I love how they call it like a playground. Like this is your chance to just play around and see what happens.
Yeah.
Get a good caffeine buzz going and just see what you can create and like do challenges for yourself. What I do now is I set a timer because you can sit here all day. That's the other problem. Is like it's unlimited now. Have you ever seen the show The Good Place?
No.
So it's like this where they kind of like go to heaven or like whatever, and they have like basically like a genie called Janet. Like anything you want, like she'll just give it to you right there. So it's kind of like that. That's kind of where we're going with this AI. Is like you think it, you just type it out, and boom, it just wrote out a blog for you. It just helped you say something better. And next is going to be visual content where you can tell it to create like a 3D rendering of this product that you're thinking of, or create a cool graphic for the cover of my blog, or create mock-up graphics for my product for my Shopify store. That's where we're going.
Yes, exactly.
It's getting wild. So it's a lot of fun, and you just got to start to learn how to communicate with the AI to get what you want. That's going to make you infinitely more productive, more creative, and give you more free time.
Different. But stand out. You got to stand out.
But also put a limit on yourself because you can sit here all night clicking away over and over and over. It's kind of like unlimited. So that's the downside. So you have to train yourself to stay productive and just find a good ending point, roll with it, and move on so you can do the right things.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And Cynthia's here. Yes, that's been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Andrew. And again, Tim, for helping me produce this. Hello. We still okay. So here's the challenge. We want to name the show something because we've changed the format a little bit. So this is it. Put it into Copy.ai. I'm going to try.
Oh,
boom,
that will be good.
Name generator.
Right.
Yes. Exactly. And thank you to everybody who tuned in. Cynthia and Katie and Elizabeth and Gabe and anybody that I missed.
Nancy
Alex Chambers, Nancy Barrows. Yes. All of you are amazing. Jenny Gold.
Yes.
Thank you all so much for being here. This has been
Thank you, Renee. Yes. And Anita was here as well from the UK.
Oh, Anita. Yes. Anita Wong.
Yes.
Aluminium.
Yeah. Aluminium. Yes. Not aluminum. There's no tomatoes on my boat. Only tomatoes.
Only tomatoes. On that note, thank you, everyone.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. See you next week, Monday. Bye.
Bye.